Hey folks, Jacob from JayTaySportsCards here. Welcome to another video in our card design series. I'm glad you decided to check us out today. Before we hop on this one, I want to take a few moments to plug our channel. Justin and I have two main goals with our channel here. One, we want to connect and build relationships with collectors. And two, we want to contribute to the card collecting community in a helpful way. You can help us achieve these goals by interacting with us here on YouTube, by letting us know what you thought of the video in the comment section, and leaving a like if you enjoyed watching. We're also on Instagram at JayTaySportsCards as well. If you aren't familiar with the series I'm going through, basically what I'm doing is trying to figure out why sports cards are collectible. Sure, we like to collect and invest in specific players or teams, but what determines the collectability, and therefore the investment value, of one specific card of a player over another? Better understanding how cards are designed can help us focus on our own collecting habits, along with making smarter investment choices in sport cards. So with that in mind, in my last video, which if you haven't watched that yet, I would watch that first as it lays the groundwork for how I'm going to analyze design, we looked at 5 realms which dictate how sports cards are designed. Here are the images for that. I introduced the realms in the first video of the series. The realms or card design focuses are photography based, shine and color based, artistic based, elegance based, and novelty based. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into how photography plays a role in sports card collectability. Before we get into that, I'm in no way pretending to be an expert. I'm not even pretending to know a whole lot. However, I really want to dig deep and investigate how sports cards are designed, and I want you to help me out. What I'm imagining is that in the comments section can supplement or give examples for things discussed in the video. For each of these videos, I'll pose a question that I would like you to answer in the comments. The more y'all participate, the more examples and perspectives we'll have in order to learn from each other. So the question for this video is, what is a specific card or set that you think uses photography well, and why? All right, speaking of deep dives, this is one of the favorite cards that I've pulled recently. Get it? Deep dive? Anyways, Christian McCaffrey. I really like this card because it has an action, and the action, well, it looks like he's diving, and that provides a little bit of context for what the insert is all about. I don't really like the text here, but it shows the picture in action of him. Well, it looks like he's being tackled, but you would think of him diving, maybe diving for a pylon, like at the end zone. A player that I think this would be very noteworthy for would be someone like LaDainian Tomlinson, or someone that you think dives a lot. So we're really using an action to leverage the whole theme of the insert. Some popular sets that really work include a unique action and that builds the set around that action, like we see here. One example I can think of is that Marvel's comic book pose that works really well, especially for the Zion, because it looks like he's tough. He looks like a superhero almost. Often ones that don't work include some specific insert name or theme, but the photography that's used doesn't really match up with it. An example I can think of here is archaeology. One, the text in the back, you might like it because it's so cheesy, but I think it's not too good. Like, it's a pun, but it just doesn't really work. There's an arc. Where's the arc? I can't tell if he's shooting a short 2 or if he's shooting a very long 3. So a lot of times, if we're using helpful photography, this can be leveraged with our insert cards. But another way to incorporate photography is by including the context. The context is not included here. The context is also not included here. So essentially what I mean by context is the big picture. What's going on around the player? This insert card does a good job by even showing on the back that the context is, well, he's being tackled. But while on the front here, it just looks like he's diving. So it leverages both kind of the action, but also the context around that action. So the context being, how's the player being interacted? How's the teammate interacting, or how's the player interacting with teammates or opponents? What is the different things that a player does, perhaps, maybe besides just playing ball? So what I want to do is look through some of the cards that I have, which, forewarned, they're mainly base cards. However, I think if we take a look at these, you'll understand what I'm talking about relating to photography and collectability. If I had to rank the use of photography in cards, the top would be a novel use of both the player in the context and the player in action. Like, I think this is a great insert. You have the player in action and you have the player in context both in one. The bottom ranking would be a photo without context and without action. Somewhere in the middle would be one or the other. I would call this archaeology. Like, there's a very deliberate action, you're shooting, but where's the context? It shows a little bit of it with that background, but not a whole lot. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. I'm going to set up here with a bunch of different cards that I found, and we're going to take a look at how photography plays a role with those cards. So I'll be right back. All right, so we're going to start by looking at some bad examples. For these bad examples, it's either going to do a poor job of giving context or do a poor job of giving a specific action, or both. So we'll start with these rookies here. I would not say a whole lot of context or action, so I would say this is bad. What is he doing? He's just holding the ball. Same thing here. Players just standing there. Definitely same thing here because there's no context at all and not really a definitive action. You know, this one's okay, but I would love more context. I'd love the picture to be expanded. Right now it just looks like he's holding the ball. This too, really just kind of holding the ball, nothing special. No context. Like, if you're juking someone, I'd love to know who you're juking, but this isn't really definitive enough. Just kind of stutter stepping. This just looks goofy. I can't really say that this would be one of my favorite cards to have. Same thing with this Larry Fitzgerald. It shows context appropriately, but the action is just goofy. Like, if this is the only picture that you have, it's the only picture that you have. But hopefully we'd be able to come up with some better ones than this. All right, so we just looked at some bad examples. Now we're gonna look at some good examples. To me, these good examples show a clear example of either context or an action or both. So right now, I like this for a rookie one because it shows he's probably at training camp or mini camp or something like that. I like that. That's a different look. It's very clear what he's doing, where he's at. I like that one. This is a classic trait. Like, this is something you could imagine him doing in a game. So I would say this is very desirable. You know, definitive pass. This one, I think he's going up for a shot. Great pass, great photography. I love this game action. Guys, this is a beautiful card. Don't tell me otherwise because this is beautiful. Any collector would like that. I would say he's grabbing a rebound, looking for a pass. Beautiful, full photo, showing a dunk. Very cool card. So I'm just gonna blow by some of these, but hopefully you can see that for those, there's a more definitive either context or an action. Like, the context was being in a ball game, being at training camp, but an action would be shooting, passing, getting a rebound, juking, something like that. I'd say this is a good rookie card because this is very definitively from draft day, so we can definitely tell where he's at. I would say even this isn't too bad for a rookie because you can tell he's at a rookie like photo shoot there, drive, rebound. This is some cool photography. So yeah, I think a lot of these pictures can speak for themselves, but I think we can see a little bit of difference between these and between the ones that don't show good photography. No context here, but a cool shot photo. There's no mistaking what he's doing there. Good pass, Westbrook, cool pictures. So you notice with these, beautiful. Like, if you are an LT fan like I am, this is a beautiful card. This is what he would be doing. This combines a unique action, jumping over the pile, and also gives the context. Beautiful card. I like this. I think it's more kind of like a juking photo. You know where he's at. He's at the Pro Bowl. Cool card. You can tell he's getting the ball out of the backfield. Another Pro Bowl. breaking away from tackles, so it shows if this was just him without the background, I wouldn't say it was as strong, but see him breaking tackles, that's beautiful. Same thing with this AP, definitive juke, that's his juke. You can tell that's him. More of the context in there. So I would say all these cards do a great job of using photography. They leverage a specific situation and context, and they also leverage a specific action. So now we're going to take a look at some more rookies and some inserts. All right, sorry for all the cuts here. Just trying to get these cards organized. So some of the rookies I think do a good job. I already talked about this a little bit, but we want like a specific action. Like you can tell this is a photo shoot. So I really like this. Even though you can't get game action with a lot of these rookies, specific pose, you can tell what's going on here. This is a photo shoot. I like this for an action. Like this ball carrying, beautiful card. So those are some examples on how to do rookies well. But we need specific actions. Throwing, ball carrying, maybe juking, stiff arm. So, and give me a little bit of context too. We looked at a lot of base cards so far though, so we'll look at some inserts. This is a bad insert. Goal scorers. Does this guy look like he's bound to score a goal? No. So I would say that's bad. Zero gravity, you could imagine, jumping high, dunking, whatever. Does it look like Jordan's doing that? Yes. And the card illustrates that as well with like the clouds. So I'd say that's a good insert. Block party, good. It clearly shows that he's going to block that card. Pure soccer, what does pure soccer mean? Okay, so bad insert. Bring down the house. This looks like you could bring down the house with a dunk. I would call that good insert. Heart, yeah, I'm not sure if I'd use KD for this, but it's good. Just show energy. Show that there's heart on the player expression. There's no background, so we got to show it all with the player themselves. So not too bad. How do you show dominance? Does this look like dominance in the picture? No, so not good. Switchful thinking. Very corny insert name, but at least he's in the shooting form. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's okay. This one is courtside. I mean, it looks like you're courtside. Very cool. Yeah, I would say this is a cool card. Get hyped. Love this. How can you not like this? You see the player wanting to get the crowd hyped. This really illustrates that well. Road to the finals, I like these. Yes, the numbering's ridiculous on them, but it's in the playoffs and it shows a playoff picture. My house, Joel Embiid. How do you display my house in a picture? Does this do that? No. So I would say that is not good. Notice that we've looked a lot at football and basketball. To me, it's easier to display these different actions with a ball in your hand. I think it's pretty tough for soccer. This rookie, there's no context, no specific action, not a good rookie. But notice, I don't think these soccer cards look as cool as maybe looking for a pass, rolling the ball out, Davies there. Martinez looks like a thug almost. Rossi, I don't know what's going on. But to me, we need specific actions, and I think the photography for these soccer cards could be done a little better. But I think it's a little harder to do photography with soccer versus like basketball and football, for example, because much less often is a player actually going to have a ball at their feet. And kind of without the ball, it's like you can't really tell what they're doing. Like, valuable card, nice player, but what is going on here? So I think it's a little harder to show that with soccer, and we might have to be a little bit more creative on how to display specific actions with soccer players. All right, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you appreciated seeing how photography can really play a role in making a good sports card design. The next video for this series, be on the lookout for one about shine and color, so think about prism, select, optic, stuff like that. And if you want to check out other videos on our channel, make sure to stop by. Until next time, thanks for watching.